Hi, I'm a broken JPEG, Aki.
And I'm the look and feel of real, but with half the calories. Chrissu.
Welcome to Let's Try.
We have not released anything in a little while because we've both been very busy.
We have.
Doing all sorts of things. But we are here to try a game called Sdorica, spelt with a D, which is very confusing, so it looks like you'd say Sdorica. But
Sdorica.
It's Sdorica. And yeah, we're gonna give you I'm gonna give you a quick rundown of how this game works.
Yeah. I played it as well for a little while, but it's a game that's really caught Chrissu's interest, so he's sort of in charge today.
Yeah, I've been playing it for
a while now, right?
2 months straight, basically.
Yeah,
I missed a couple days while I was on vacation, but
How
I did have
you?
I did have a login streak of 50 some odd days.
Oh my god! Wow.
So, there's not really going to be a good methodology to show you guys how this the various ways that this game works, but the basic premise is it is a gacha game. You collect units, you do battles. The units have different abilities that they can use. But the really cool thing, and I'm going to have to actually go into a battle to show you this.
Yeah, definitely.
Is I'll just do one of my silly dailies.
Oh,
What's this one? Treasure hunt. Okay. Sorry, I need to turn up the brightness on my screen really quick.
Oh.
Alright, so we're going to do this. So you make little teams of 3. You have 3 positions. The front unit is called the orange unit, the second unit is the black unit, and the third unit is the white unit.
And they all have different roles, right?
Yeah, so typically speaking, very broadly speaking, orange is often a tank or damage soaking kind of role, but not always.
Right.
Black is almost always some kind of damage dealer. White is generally support. But there are units in each, so every unit is only one of those colors, and so can only be assigned to one of those roles. Some units break the mold of their particular position, but generally speaking, orange is for tanks, black is for high DPS characters, and white is for support units. As a good general rule.
I find it interesting because in a lot of games, you're not locked into a setup, but you can kind of decide, okay, I'm running a healer today, blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of interesting to me that this game forces you into 3, which sounds like it would be a bad thing, but I actually really enjoyed that part of it. Especially because, the rules are kind of flexible, like you said.
Yeah, and the other thing is that what's really fun is every single unit that you get in this game has a unique kit from every other unit, which means that they have a unique strategy that you can use them for. And every single unit you get in the gacha, which I will show you in a moment, can be raised to maximum rarity, and they're all equally useful for different strategies. So I have had horrible luck pulling in this game, but that's fine because the units that I have gotten I can still use. So I'm gonna use one of my favorite characters because he's very silly and cute.
Oh, good.
And yeah, so then you have an advisor slot, which every unit has an advisor skill, which are often really busted and also help you form strategies. And then you have a guild advisor slot. So when you're in a guild, you can use one of your guild people's units as an advisor and use their advisor skill, which is also cool.
Yeah.
So
the guild function is pretty fun in this game.
Yeah. I'm doing the battle first because it is the main thing that I like about this game. So as you will notice, there are different colored orbs on the bottom, and as I explained, there are 3 different colors of unit. So orange orbs correspond to your orange unit, and each unit has 3 different skills, one for using 1 orb, one for using 2 orbs, and one for using 4 orbs. So for instance, if I hit this white orb here, Puggy will make it do a thing that debuffs the enemy.
Puggy is my best friend.
Puggy is best boy. And so if I do it again, that lines up 4 orbs, which I can use to use my black unit's 4 orb skill, which does a whole lot of damage.
This is one of the most exciting battle systems I've ever seen, not just in a mobile game, but in general. I really love this.
It's really fun because so what's kind of cool about it is that it's almost like you're playing a puzzle game because you kind of have to plan out which orbs you're going to use to maximize your damage and all that stuff. There is a slight element of RNG to it, which I have complained about in some games in the past, but in this one it doesn't feel nearly as RNG based because you have so many options, not like in Fate where it's you just kind of have those 3 options.
Yeah, it's just dealt to
it.
you. In this game you can plan ahead, and I noticed too that a lot of the enemies have like countdown timers when they're going to start doing things, so you can plan, okay, well, in this many turns I need this many orbs to be together, so we're going to,
exactly.
that kind of thing.
So as you notice, each of the enemy units has a little number next to their health bar, and that's how many turns there are until they act. So each time you do an action, that's a turn.
Yeah. Which took me a little while to get the hang of it first. I didn't really understand why the enemies were not hitting me all the time, but...
He's got a gimmick, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, does he?
Oh, I need to... Okay, I don't actually think I can kill this guy, which is funny.
Are we in trouble?
Well, no, it's not actually a big deal. It's just I didn't really look ahead to what this level entailed, and some units have special conditions, so this guy means that if I don't have damage reduction, which is just a buff, I can't hurt him, and none of my units can obtain damage reduction, so that means I can't do this quest right now. But that's
so
fine.
Funny.
That gives you a good idea of what the battle system looks like. Oh wait, actually, apparently I can. How did I get damage reduction? I have no idea. Whatever.
Maybe your guild advisor happened to have it or something.
No, I think maybe that his. Oh, never mind. It just triggers his skill if I don't have damage reduction. My reading comprehension is terrible today.
I don't have that ever, so that's fine.
So that's what battles look like, and the battles are kind of one of the main things that really drew me to this game, or like kept me playing this game. The other thing that I really like about it is that this story is really, really, really good.
It's really, really good.
Yeah, and the emphasis in this game really seems to be on the story, because like every single unit has their own character storyline. There are event stories quite frequently that expand on character storylines. They're all really compelling and really fun. Mm-hmm. The characters are all very unique from each other, and the cast of characters is not very large, considering that it's a gacha game based on units. Most of the units, like the rare units, are just variations on existing characters, so they're like SP versions is what they're called. So for instance, this is Angelia SP. And they're really strong or whatever, but they're not like there's not like major character bloat in like trying to keep track of all the characters, which is really nice.
Yeah, that can really get out of hand in some games.
Yeah. So yeah, the gacha system is pretty much what you'd expect. There's not really a whole lot to explain about it. You get crystals for doing stuff. You spend 500 of them to do a 10 pull. I don't actually have 500 right now. If I'd been thinking ahead, I probably would have saved some, but whatever.
Whatever. Do you have like bookmarks you could use?
Yeah, I have a bookmark that I can use. The one thing I will say about the gacha in this game is that you are not guaranteed an SR or above when you summon. You're not guaranteed anything. You just get whatever you get, which can be a little bit frustrating.
Yeah.
But the consolation of that is, of course, that you can... none of the units stay at a low rarity. They can all become SSR eventually. So that's nice, at least.
And, like, none of them are really bad, either.
No, there literally are no bad units. Every unit can be used in some fashion. Some of the, like, units that you get at the very start are some of the best. So, like...
Yeah.
Unless you're a whale...
Yeah.
Or a completionist, it's probably not going to be too big a deal if you can't get every single unit.
Yeah. One of the things that a little thing in this game that I really liked is that on a character's character page, there's like a little chat thing.
Yeah, you can check what other people have to say about that character.
Which is sort of cute, because sometimes in games I'm not entirely sure how to use a character best, so that kind of thing can be interesting. Sometimes people just leave funny comments there.
For instance, Elio, who was my first SSR the first unit that I got to SSR, one of the comments is, "Best idol son." And he is. Look at him. He's beautiful. He is best idol son.
There's that one unit who's like a doggy, and all the comments are just
Cole,
are just like a good boy. I love him.
He's a good boy. So Cole is one of my favorite units. He's got a really fun story. He's really good too. And yeah, is good boy.
Yeah.
The top comment on him.
There's like 1,000 upvotes.
Yeah.
And it's like that's all you need to know. That's it.
He is. The community in this game seems very nice. And like I'm in a guild. The guild's super chill. There's the other thing that I like about this game is that in terms of if you want to play it very casually, it's super possible to do that. There's not a lot of stuff that you have to do every day. Like if you just do there's like a couple of daily things. If you're in a guild, there are more daily things to do, which you can do to help contribute to your guild's resources. But it takes about 10 or 15 minutes at most if you just do those things, and you don't feel like playing a ton more than that. And that's fine. The story is obviously more time consuming, but like when you sit down and play it, it's like you're playing a console game.
Yeah,
in terms of the quality of the story and like the length of the cutscenes and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it definitely feels more like a console, like a game experience than a gacha experience, I guess, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, the gacha currency is not super abundant, which is either a good or a bad thing depending on your stance. For me, it's kind of a good thing because it means I don't feel like I'm constantly pressured to hoard or constantly like
You're not grinding.
I don't need to pull all the time.
Yeah.
So like I'm cool with that. It feels more like, oh, I have enough to pull, I can pull.
Yeah. Another thing that I really liked was that in a lot of the stories, again, I played this game for like, I don't know, I spent like, I don't know, maybe 10 hours, maybe less playing this game. I don't know what time is. I didn't play as much as Chrissu anyway. But something I really liked is that in a lot of the events, it seemed like, and there's this other mode, this like exploration mode that's I didn't really fully understand, but you're given characters to use, and even in some of the main story too, so you don't really have to worry about having amazing units, especially for events.
Exactly.
Which is like really nice.
For the majority of story quests, you are provided with a team at the appropriate level, at the appropriate rarity or whatever. So you don't actually have to have your own units. There are certain ones in between that you do have to have your own units, so obviously you do want to keep up with keeping your units as leveled as you can. But events pretty much always, story events at least, always provide you with units. And yes, there's 2 exploration modes, which are, I'm not going to try to explain because I'm not going to lie to you, they are very convoluted.
Yes.
But the basic premise of one, so there's Balzac's Heritage, and the goal of Balzac's Heritage is you explore various maps, and you try to accumulate these runes that you then get analyzed and turned into other runes, and you can get stuff for it. And it's very challenging and fun, and that's cool. And then there's Sun Kingdom Adventure, where you explore and you try to accumulate resources to try to make tools and weapons to try to explore as deep as you possibly can into this cave to get more gacha currency if you want.
Which is pretty wild.
Basically, it is pretty wild. The other thing about this game that is pretty cool is there's no energy system. You can play this game indefinitely in a day.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you don't have to stop, which is so. I'm going to explain my stance on this as well. So to me, not having an energy system actually makes me feel a lot less pressure to play this game consistently, because when you have energy, you feel sort of compelled to drain it. For me, anyway. And especially when you're just starting out a game and you have like 400 excess energy, you're like, okay, I just got to get through that, and then I can calm down and life can resume.
It's the worst thing. It's like you keep leveling up and you're like, please stop, I'm already dead.
There was nothing like that with this, which meant that my beginning playing this game did not feel stressful. That like weird combination of stress and excitement that you feel when you start a new gacha game, where it's like I have too much. Like when I started playing Utapri and I had 1,200 energy.
It never got better either.
It never got better. I literally never saw it go down to a normal number because I was constantly leveling up, and I was just like always at least 200 or 300. And I was just like, I'm waiting for death. Waiting for death. Please let it come.
And that might be a draw to some people, but like, oh my god. It's just it's so much pressure.
So there's also this market where you can buy, mostly this is where you buy stuff to what's called, it's called resonance, when you increase the rarity of your characters. So you buy materials to perform resonance. You can also get soul energy, which is what you use to level up your units, but you get soul energy in many other ways, so I don't recommend doing it on the market. But if you're really desperate, I suppose, you can do that. You can't level your characters up past your own, what's it called?
Player level, I guess?
Player level, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
So level cap right now is 70. Once you hit 50, it starts taking a very long time to level up. This game really rewards patience. I'm assuming that also means that it rewards people who grind a lot, but the thing is that you don't have to if you don't want to.
It's very much it's very slow. In contrast to like a lot of gacha games these days are very like AFK friendly, very
this is not.
You just want to do your daily grind. It's very not that,
No, this is a very like slow burn, long term.
You want to be like present for it.
Kind of game.
Yeah.
So
we give this one a toot, really.
This one gets a toot. I'm still playing it, which means that, and I feel like I'm going to be playing it for a while. I really love the art. The music is beautiful.
Yeah, we didn't even touch on that. It's super gorgeous. I wanted to point out that it's by Rayark, which is somewhat, I don't think it's somewhat famous or like well known for.
I think they're Taiwanese. Or
I'm not sure about that, but I do know that they made some pretty famous rhythm games. Voas and Citus are like very beautiful like rhythm game type things.
I know
they're pretty
popular. Art, not only is the art for the characters beautiful, like the actual game when you're playing it, which you would have seen earlier when I was doing the battle, like it just looks so beautiful. It's like a storybook.
Yeah, it is very storybook. It's
very stylized, which I am a very big fan of.
Yeah, it's funny too. Like a lot of the
oh my God.
The story is like hilarious.
Yeah, specifically any interaction between Puggy, who is this little owl gremlin,
my best friend,
his best boy,
and tiger friend,
his tiger boyfriend Pang.
Pang, that's right.
Yeah. It's down here.
Yeah, they were.
Whose current rarity, like they had like their rarity levels have names. So his current one is Notice Me Sensei.
Oh my God.
The game has a very good sense of humor. There's also a character who has a skin called let me just show you. I have to find him. So he's a very silly character, just like his name's Jahan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying look at him. Aki can't look at him at the moment, but when she's watching this, she can look at him.
Yep.
And he has a skin called Shiny Derpy Pinky, where he is a pink knight with like rainbow lights on his armor.
What?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah, there's a real sense of humor here that I really appreciate.
I really appreciate it too, because it's got a serious story, like a very serious story, but it makes a lot of time to like break the tension.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very well paced. And get prepared to get very attached to Angelia, this lady here, because she is.
Is she the princess?
She's basically the protagonist.
Is she the princess with like, the bear?
She's the princess. She's great. She's very interesting. She's a very fun character. She kind of has like that typical like very honorable anime princess thing going on, but she gets a lot more complicated as the story progresses, and it's very cool to watch. So
please look forward to it.
Yeah, that's all I will say.
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. We're gonna do more of these. Let's tries, because I think they're one of our favorite things to do.
Yeah. So look forward to that. Please join our Discord.
We're not dead. I promise we're not dead.
We're not dead. We're like very alive there. Yeah. We'll have more Star Ocean coming up. Watch me stream on Twitch. I haven't even been streaming in the past 2 weeks. I've been so busy. Like I've just vanished off the face of the internet.
I went on vacation to a whole other country for a week, or actually for like 10 days. So.
Yeah. So you get a pass.
Yeah, I did. I left the continent.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks, guys. In conclusion, I do highly recommend this game. I can't actually. Normally, I would say like if you liked X and Y, you'll like this, but I actually don't think I can compare this to any of the gacha games that I played because it plays very differently.
I would say that if you're a fan of RPGs and if you're a fan of like Western fantasy, then it's kind of down that kind of. I feel like this is like the sort of the rare gacha game that isn't directly aimed at anime fans only. You know what I mean?
For sure. Like the art style, while definitely being like anime-esque, is not. It definitely has a slightly more illustrative style.
Yeah.
So. And I think if you like games that involve like very intricate team building and very intricate strategies based on units interacting with each other, then definitely this is the game for you because, like I said, completely unique kits. Every unit is good or has the potential to be good. And you can make some really funky, hilarious combos. Like, you can use strategies where you plan for your units to die repeatedly, and that's like a thing you want. So
beautiful, love that for them.
There's a lot of ways that you can play around. So if that appeals to you, then I highly recommend this. And also, if you like to be patient, you don't, and you're okay with not getting everything all at once, because this is not a game that gives you everything all at once. I will say that straight up.
Yeah, it is a burn.
Yeah.
A burn that is slow.
So yeah, in conclusion, we like this. You should play it, and if you do play it, there's no friend system, so I can't add you as a friend. But
you can join our Discord and talk to Chrissu about it. Wow.
Yeah, if enough people express interest, maybe we'll make a whole channel for Sdorica. But God, so far, I'm the only person I know, or I'm one of only 2 people I know who play it. So.
Yep. All right. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Stay cool this July.
Yeah. Stay hydrated. It's gonna be a hot one.
It is. See ya.
See ya.